Bye-bye BVIs.
After about 2 weeks in the BVIs, we headed out from Virgin Gorda for an overnight sail to Saba.
There's Necker Island. Looks pretty cool. He certainly got a sweet spot over there, doesn't he? I think he's got a few toys on the beach.
As the sun went down, we rounded Virgin Gorda. I took the midnight watch. It was fairly quiet until I had to do some tricky maneuvering to get around a giant cruise ship.
Well, that was a little bit too close for comfort. Symphony of the Sea, about a mile off of us. Going about 20 knots. Heading to St. Martin.
Welcome to Little Bird. We're Tif and Frank from Santa Cruz, California. We launched our new Balance 526 catamaran in South Africa in 2021. After sailing it around the Cape and across the South Atlantic, we explored the Caribbean to Florida. This year, we're making our way back down to Grenada. Hit the subscribe button to follow along.
It's about 6 a.m. and we just arrived. It's quite a sunrise. We left 6 p.m. and decided to do an overnight. The boys were very gracious and let me sleep most of it, but I did one watch. Anyway, it was pretty straightforward. It's quite beautiful out this morning. So we're gonna go for a nice hike later, and then tomorrow we're going to go for a dive. So we'll see how it goes.
Although the main anchorage in Saba was pretty exposed, the check-in process in town was easy and super friendly. We grabbed a taxi who gave us a tour of the island as he drove us up to the Santa Cruz trailhead. It was too cloudy to hike to the top of Mount Scenery, but this trail was awesome and crossed most of the island.
Little up, little down.
Saba is awesome. There are several small towns that are super fun to explore, and it really is quite unspoiled. We spent the rest of the day touring around and then hung out on a mooring in town so we could do our dive the following morning.
Bye-bye, son. Another beautiful day on the boat. Just finished dinner. Getting ready for a dive tomorrow.
Going diving under the water.
What are we going to see?
Sharks, hammerheads, they said.
Wow.
Guaranteed to see a hammerhead.
I don't know about guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed.
I'm feeling a bit nervous about our dive. How about you, Frankie?
I'm always nervous before I do anything.
I think there's going to be sharks out there. I'm a little nervous. We had an awesome day today, scuba diving off of Saba with a dive company called Saba. And the crew took us to 2 amazing dives. We saw sea turtles and a couple seahorses, nurse sharks, lobster, huge lobster. And the coral was just unbelievable. I felt really lucky we got an opportunity to see this place. And now we're just chilling at the anchorage. It's a bit rolly and windy, but gosh, I mean, look at this. There's only a couple other boats in the anchorage, and so we're just chilling.
The only drawback to Saba is how exposed the anchorages are. It requires really calm conditions, so staying any length of time is dependent on the weather, which rarely cooperates. After only a couple nights, we had to move farther south to the more protected spots in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Wow. Oh, this way.
From Saba to St. Kitts. Into the wind. Pumping surf in St. Kitts.
See anything good?
Definitely waves over there.
Not the prettiest anchorage.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
What the hell are you doing?
I can't see through it. Boing, boing. BPs, boat jobs, boat projects.
I'm gonna send it to Deb and say, caption this. What happened, Frankie?
The Starlink dish filled with water.
Ever since that launch.
Yeah, ever since the
It
launch.
literally happened the day of the launch.
Right.
The next day, we lost our internet.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
There's about a gallon of water in here. Looks like the water came in right there. Okay, so the other day, there was a big Starlink launch, lit up the whole sky. The dish stopped working that day. We took it off, and it's filled with water. Elon, your rockets are too fucking bright too.
Stupid Starlink.
Stupid Starlink. And with that, a new boat project was born to get the Starlink replaced and find out why this one filled up with water. We'll do a follow-up in the next video to give you a full explanation once we figure it out.
Well, I'm starting off goofy, so it's not gonna be great.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Saba, St. Kitts, and Nevis are all a bit off the normal cruising path in the Caribbean. If you're cruising the windwards in one season, you usually would go to St. Martin's and Antigua before dropping down to Guadeloupe. We did that last year, and I'm glad we came back again this year and hit these islands. They're incredible. They're far less crowded, everyone is super friendly, and they genuinely have a great feel to them.
St. Kitts is very beautiful.
What was the name of that anchorage again we were just at?
White House Bay.
Oh yeah. I wonder why they call it White House Bay.
The White House.
No, there isn't a White House.
There was a White House.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
We arrived in Nevis and were just kicking back, enjoying the beautiful, calm evening. There were about 20 boats in the anchorage, and Eagle Eye Keith noticed a boat on the far side that looked suspiciously like another Balance Catamaran. And lo and behold, it was Umoya, the first 442 Balance Catamaran launched this past year. We jumped in the dinghy and went over to say hi. It's cool when you meet other Balance owners. You are immediately part of a big family. The owners, Dave and Courtney, invited us to join them and a bunch of other boats who were organizing some local sightseeing. We took off in the morning in a shared van to the botanical gardens of Nevis. We spent some time with the owner, Christy, who told us the story about how she came to visit the gardens and loved it so much she bought the place.
Hello.
One of the must-have pieces of kit on Little Bird is our stand-up paddleboards. We use them for everything from fishing to sightseeing, plus surfing and beach transport and everything in between. I'm always trying to get Tif to take a VHF radio with her because she tends to just keep going. We've started to dive a bit more as we've been sailing around. Tif is relatively new to it, so we set up an advanced open water class in Nevis with Amanda at Soul Scuba. She's a super experienced instructor who also does some awesome yoga and diving classes that were right up Tif's alley. I can't recommend her enough. I've been diving since I was 16, and diving with Amanda was some of the most fun I've had. It was awesome to go deep with the sharks, but her focus on the minute was the best. If you're ever in Nevis, make sure to look her up. What'd you think, Tiffy?
Awesome. Let me take this off. Oh, wow, those sharks, huh?
Yeah.
That was super cool.
We were tucked into Majors Bay for a few nights when the west wind picked up. A bunch of the nearby boats from Nevis and St. Kitts joined us, and there ended up being a bit of a Balance Catamaran reunion, with both the 442 Catalyst and 442 Umoya joining us. It gave us a great opportunity to film the full Balance range in one spot. Here you are, Little Bird, Umoya, and Catalyst.
go on our way to Antigua.
The dock lines, Tiff, come on. Where are the dock lines?
Look at Keith is already on it. I was sleeping.
We had spent some time on Antigua last year, but for whatever reason didn't visit what's probably the main tourist spot, Nelson's Dockyard.
Dockyard Bakery. I'm into that.
It's a cool old fort that's been converted to some shops and restaurants, but I think it's all the super yachts that most of us come to see. Our visit didn't disappoint because we were there just before the Antigua sailing week. We even got to sail alongside a couple of these beautiful boats when we left for Green Island a couple days later.
Getting back to Green Island on the southeast corner of Antigua was great. It's one of our favorite spots from last year. It's a great wing foiling location and we were anxious to get back in the water. Unfortunately, I accidentally kicked the foil on one of the boards while I was getting up back onto the boat and split my foot open nicely. Luckily, our friends Marianne and Jim from another Balance 526 named Alani had just arrived and were heading over for sundowners. They're both great dentists and were nice enough to stitch me up. If you're squeamish, you may want to skip this next part.
Cocktails. Frank. I know, right?
Hey, I'm a dumbass.
Oh.
Back here, I was swimming on the back of the boat, and I already had the board like that, and I went to kick off to come over here, and I kicked the foil.
No, I was just reading, Marianne. Literally, I was just reading. That you should wear booties.
You should wear booties, and you're gonna have to drink some of it.
Oh, nice.
What is it, Frank?
Skullduggery?
And,
Awesome.
whatever.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh, maybe I should have brought him a piece of leather to bite on.
Yeah, right.
I can't.
Like every day.
I'm excited. We get to use our medical kit.
Yeah.
Can we draw, you have a Sharpie? We'll do 2 eyes.
2 eyes there, yeah.
Stop doing that.
Oh, that's gonna be that's
Lordy.
gonna be
Well,
a
at
tender
least it's not on
spot
the
too.
bottom of your
You'll
foot.
love
That's
that.
gonna be sore tomorrow.
Here's the one. Ah!
I'm a dumbass.
Tomorrow.
Did you bring the staple machine? I can't wait to see that.
Sure.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait till I pull your tooth. This is the easy part.
Cheers.
Whoops, cheers. Here, Keith.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
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 You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
No, yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, but you opened it up pretty good. I'm impressed.
Dishes every day, aren't you?
I don't because I do all the stuff that makes people happier.
I'm not actually a dentist.
I play one on
Should have
TV.
given him happy gas.
Okay, dude, you're not
Yeah.
gonna like this.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Whoa, mama, fucking that kind of hurts. Actually, I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, you better hold that.
Why do you like that, Jim?
Whoa!
Oh, baby. Oh no, that's causing me pain. That is causing me pain.
Oh my god!
I know.
That feels like stepping on a needle.
I think I'm gonna drink this drink.
Oh, they give it to me. Before he sticks it in my.
Wait.
I should have drank it before he stuck it in.
Here, you can just take the bottle.
That's
I brought that
what
for
she
you.
said.
I knew that.
No pressure. You know his feet are insured. They're so beautiful.
Well, I was wondering about that.
I'm a foot model. Is this the end of my
Well,
career?
not
We do
anymore.
have.
We're gonna be going out to eat.
I better get some crutches. It counts because when was the last time
Yeah,
we
you're not gonna like this.
He's gonna feel just fine after a few drinks.
9%.
You better start drinking.
This is the fall over on at the bar drink.
This is some good YouTube footage, man. I'm telling you.
Keith will not let me do the dishes.
I'll wait for a night when there's lots of dishes.
How about the
and I'll
two
hand
of you
over.
do the dishes?
You won't
I'll
let
just
me.
I'll just sit here.
put the cheese.
What are you doing, Tiff?
Men washing dishes.
And this is the state of the boat as we prepare to leave. Lots of stuff to clean up and put away.
And that was that. We finished cleaning up, loaded into a taxi, and headed for the airport. We'll see you again in a few weeks.